What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dermy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video, and it's another Doctor Who reviews because it's of course our Bridgerton episode. Ah! I was so bored. I was so uninterested. It's so telling of modern day when you have Doctor Who basically forcing me to watch an episode of Bridgerton because they can't write Doctor Who anymore. They have to write Bridgerton. And real quick, I have to say this a little bit. I'm not a fan of Bridgerton. I'm not watching Bridgerton. I have nothing against Bridgerton. I think it's stupid in its own right. It's not a show for me, and I fully accept that. So then why would I ever want Doctor Who to do a Bridgerton episode? Why? I would like Doctor Who in my Doctor Who episode, but we haven't had that in years now, so there's that. And for those of you who don't know, for those of you who have been watching, this episode had the scene in it, and we will be going over it when it shows up because they have officially canonized the gay doctor. Oh, you gotta love it. The first gay doctor, well, actually second gay doctor, but this is the first black gay doctor who's a guy and not a girl, so there's that. Yay! Oh. So, okay, we might as well get into it, shall we? Because we come over here to 1813 Bath, England, in which we open up on Bridgerton. Because we watch as two lords scuttle about, talking back and forth. One lord's very posh and pomp and talking to this other lord about how, you know, you must marry my sister because you have soiled her honor and blah, 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 blah. And this lord's all like, yeah, I soiled her here, I soiled her here, I soiled her here. I also did it in your study. And I'm just like, what the fudge is going on? Well, as they keep talking, more posh upright guy starts to go like, well, you're really, you know, bad and wonderful and kind of broody, and I love it so much, and I want to be you. So he grabs the brooding guy and ends up like zapping him somehow, and then becomes him. Now he gets to be the bad one. So we got our monsters, yay! Not really. It's kind of stupid what they end up being. So, okay, we didn't get the intro, moving on. Then we have the party, because this whole episode takes place at a singular party the entire time. And I'm bored. So we watch as everybody's dancing and playing around, and, you know, here comes Ruby and the doctor dancing, having a good time, and my God, this is a very diverse room in 1813 London. I gotta be honest here, that's pretty diverse, don't you think? And I know somebody's gonna come into the comment section and go like, it was diverse back during Martha's time as the companion, and they showed Victorian London having black people, and it's like, that's not the point. I'm just pointing it out there, because obviously they want you to focus on that diversity, and there's more to it a little bit later. So, okay, we have them all playing around, you know, dancing, having a good time. Ruby's all like, oh, my Bridgerton, because they want you to know that this is all based on Bridgerton over and over again. So Ruby's asked the doctor, hey, how can I dance? I've never danced like this before. And the doctor's like, well, you have psychic earrings on. These psychic earrings just beam the ability to dance into your head, and it's awesome. Just don't double tap it because that puts it into combat mode. Well, at least they set something up. So, okay, they then get introduced to the lady of the house who's throwing this party. She's all like, I thought I knew everybody at the party. And they're like, well, we're from the north and all sorts of stuff. And the lady becomes just bewildered by Ruby's way of talking. So she's like, oh, you must meet all these people. We must get you courted right away. And she takes them on to go do that. Then as she's walking away, she goes like, ah, God, there's some like sonic feedback of some sort coming in through the the earrings. I don't know what it's causing. And the doctor's like, oh, well, I'll investigate. So he pulls out his sonic screwdriver, which, by the way, is pink now. Out of nowhere, screwdriver's pink. The screwdriver has been gold and blue this entire time. Now it's pink. Why? How? What? Oh, continuity. So he starts scanning the room with his sonic screwdriver, and he sees something he likes. A roguish, brooding man on the balcony. Okay, so we end up moving on. Ruby ends up getting, introduced to the guy who's obviously the alien monster thing, and walks up to her, goes like, oh, hi, I'd like to bone you, essentially. He starts talking and everything, and Ruby's like, no, not interested. And he goes like, you should probably keep your, thoughts to yourself. And then she goes on a little feminist rant, goes like, back in my home, I'd punch you in the mouth right now, so I'll just move on. And the lady's all like, oh, that's so amazing that she said it. Dude's just staring at her, and lady moves on as well. Then Ruby sees painting, and it's the painting of the old woman, and this time she's the late mother of the woman's husband. I don't know. That's what it is, but old woman's there. So they've got to point it out. So then they move on. They end up taking a look as a brooding bad guy starts talking to, I think, Asian lady, but I'm not too sure if it's Asian lady or not, but her name's Emily. That's what I can remember. And they start talking, and we don't really hear what they're saying, but you can see that they're having some sort of discussion, and they start storming off. The lady ends up going off as well because she sees two individuals walking away, and she's like, oh no. I'll do a spoiler real quick. It's because somebody's wearing a dress she wore last season. I'm so bored. I don't give a toss about Bridgerton drama, but they want me to. Ruby sees them, Emily and the bad guy starting to storm off, and then Ruby's all like, well, I'm just gonna follow them. We then cut to a brooding guy up on balcony, in which the doctor walks up and starts, doing similar brooding stuff right with him. Yay! And he starts having this weird talk like, brooding, good look, you should try it like this. It looks a little bit better. It's so better. And the guy's like, what are you here? And it's like, well, I'm keeping my eye on something peculiar, and you look so peculiar. And, the doctor's really trying hard to do a mixture of doctor talk and flirting. And it's so uncomfortable and uneasy because the doctor wouldn't do something like this. But hey, the doctor is ready and is willing to take a ride to Pound Town. That's what we get from all this. So they start chit-chatting and doing stuff, and then the dude's all like, well, come with me outside. And I'm just like, oh my god, he's gonna get on his knees. Well, we then cut back to lady person thing. She does the whole, I wore that dress last season, blah, 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 blah. Then she sees one of her servants out in the yard, and she's like, no, you can't be out here. That you're disgracing my name. And the servant starts talking like, oh, I should never have picked a servant. They're so horrible. It's no fun. I want to be you. As the servant does the exact same thing that the one dude did, and we see the monster creature for a moment, and we get a good look that it's like a bird creature thing. And the bird creature thing zaps the lady, and then obviously becomes the lady. Oh! Yeah, okay. Oh, by the way, bird creature thing and all these like freaking alien monsters that have like shape-shifting powers, they're kind of stupid. I just gotta be honest, because they leave a shoe out and it gets shown later. So we then cut to a library in which we have Ruby watching as bad guy dude talks to Emily, and they're being all dramatic, and Emily's like, why won't you choose me? And the dude's all like, my aunt is the one that supports me, and I must do as she says and choose a woman fitting my status. And Ruby's like, oh, it's Bridgerton. And she's like watching, she's reacting, she goes like, huh, at one moment when they're doing a little dramatic back and forth, and the dude like turns around and goes like, but you tip me still. And in that moment, Ruby knocks over a bunch of books, gets revealed. Dude walks out, and Emily just stares at him like, "Oh, what did I just do? I just screwed everything up." And the lady's like, "You caught us. This is so scandalous." And Ruby goes like, "This is so Bridgerton. I'm so tired of Bridgerton and this stupid melodramatic high school play acting that I'm getting right now. Over the top, melodramatic bullcrap that I don't care for. I don't watch Bridgerton. I'm not interested in Bridgerton. Don't make me watch Bridgerton." Okay, so then we cut back to the doctor and the guy walking around who's also by the name called Rogue. And it's stupid reason why he's called Rogue. And doctor's like, "Oh, I love time traveling, coming back to these times and stuff. It's so amazing, you know. You get a look at all these constellations that are just being discovered, you know, the bear, the ram." He talks about the guy who was discovering them. He's like, he wasn't very creative with names. And as they're talking back and forth, they're like, "What's your story?" "I'm not going to tell you, but you know what? You're so brooding and amazing. And you look great in that jacket. And there's something I want to tell you." And he then notices, "Hey, there's a shoe on the floor." Because the shape-shifting alien creatures are dumb. Because there's not just a shoe on the floor. He finds the lady right there as well. So you mean tell me the shape-shifting alien creatures are so dumb that they're just, you know, taking the people they're changing into, killing them, and then just leaving them down on the floor for anybody to find. And they go like, "Oh my God, what on heaven's name is going on here?" It's stupid. But yay, he finds lady without even trying, because again, aliens are stupid. But then he's like, "This can't be. Something awful and evil could have done this, and the only thing that could have done this is you," as they both point at each other. And then the doctor's like, "No, you," and he's like, "No, you, no, it's you." And then the Rogue comes out, pulls out a gun of some sorts, and goes like, "No, you." And I'm looking at this gun like, my God, that's a hideous looking prop. I hate every second of it. I don't know if it's a sonic gun. I don't know if they're trying to mix in Captain Jack here, but it ain't working, and it doesn't work at the end. So, okay, we end up cutting back to Ruby and Emily just gossiping and chatting and doing Bridgerton stuff, and Ruby's basically not even trying to hide that she's from another time, using all of her weird language, and the lady's picking up on it, go like, "I like this style of talking." And then Ruby's like, "Listen, we need to quit gossiping because gossiping's bad. And my mom, who's a very wise person, has always told me, you know, it's not my story. I shouldn't talk about it." But then they can continue on gossiping. Yeah, it's stupid. Well, okay, now we got the doctor being led around by Rogue, and Rogue's like, "Listen, I'm a bounty hunter. I was sent here to, you know, capture a target." And the doctor's like, "What's the target?" "A shapeshifter." And the doctor's like, "What type of shapeshifter?" And he names the name of the aliens. It's like, I don't even know what it's called. Cholder something. They're bird creature things that shapeshift. And he's like, "You're a shoulder, and I need to take you in because you're obviously the bad guy," without any proof that he's the bad guy, but he's the bad guy apparently. So, okay, Rogue's taking in the doctor because he has to take care of them. And the doctor's like, "So where's your spaceship?" The guy's like, "Oh, it's behind that shed over there." The doctor gets all kind of offended. "You're like, that shed's my ship." And the Rogue's all like, "You travel around in a ship." And it's like, "I like my shed." Then we see Rogue's ship, and it is very gaudy, over the top, is an obvious falcon, and doesn't belong in Doctor Who. This is too gaudy. This is too over the top. This is not a Doctor Who ship. This looks stupid. Yeah, sci-fi, but not Doctor Who sci-fi. This is just an ugly looking ship for Doctor Who. What is going on here? Oh, they don't know what Doctor Who is. This is Bridgerton. So we then cut back to Ruby and Emily dancing and doing stuff, and we then see a bad guy and bad lady person chit-chatting, and they're discussing, and they end up revealing without noticing it that they're both bad, and they're like, "Oh, of course, I wanted to be her next. No, I got here first." And then she goes like, I've already figured out what I want to wear for the wedding, and it's gonna be ruby. So we now know what the target is, and there's something going on with a wedding. What's the wedding that they're talking about? What's happening here? It's stupid by the end when you realize what they're doing. But okay, so we then cut to Nurse Shooty Gatwa on Rogue's ship, in which he's just walking around going like, baby, this place is dirty. What's going on? And the dude's not really responding. He's like, I like it this way. Doctor's like, this is horrible. And he's like, whatever. The dude ends up saying, you need to stand right here. And doctor's like, what's here? And he's like, oh, it's a trap. So he just pushed the doctor into a trap. And then the doctor's like, well, I'll just break out of the trap, and tries to use his sonic screwdriver to break out. And he's like, it's deadlocked. It ain't gonna work. And the guy's like, yeah, you got a certain amount of time. Once it's charged up, you know, I'll press the button and you're going to be transported away to an incinerator. And the doctor's like, it's a death sentence. Yes, it is. The doctor ends, you know, after trying to use his like sonic screwdriver to break out, he goes like, well, my tool is also like better and stronger, and it allows me to do other cool things. And he starts using a very dumb eyesight thing. What the heck is this? What the heck is going on here? It's like a magnifying glass on the screwdriver. And I'm not joking. He like pulls it up to his head and is looking out of it, just so idiotic. You're not going to be able to see anything through this, but apparently he can, because he ends up spying dice. And guess why he's called Rogue? Because he plays Dungeons and Dragons. That's why he's called Rogue. It's not because he's a Time Lord. It's not because he's anything interesting. He just plays Dungeons and Dragons and is a real-life bounty hunter. So the dude, Shooty's like, well, my scans say that you also like music. And he presses his sonic screwdriver and starts playing music that's in the ship. And it's more modern music to sound that goes like, la, la, la. La 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 la. I don't know what that song is at all, but that's what it does. And dude's like, I just stop it, and he keeps like turning off the music. Doctor keeps turning it back on and starts like dancing very suggestively over and over again, to the point that the guy ends up walking up, goes like, turn it off. Doctor turns it off. Rogue asks for the sonic screwdriver, and the doctor just hands it over to him. And then he's like, why did you take my sonic screwdriver? You can't do this to me. You handed him the sonic screwdriver. He literally hands Rogue the sonic screwdriver because Rogue's looking at him like, I'm disappointed in you. What the fuck? So, okay, then Rogue's like, Shooty's like, realizing what he just did is like, no, dude, you can't do this. I have papers that will prove that it's good. He pulls out the sidekick papers for like the first time this entire season. Has he ever pulled out sidekick paper at all this entire season? Legitimately, is this the first time he's pulling out the sidekick paper? Because if so, what the living hell? You're just now pulling it out. And guess what? Rogue comes over and reads it and it says I'm hot. I'm confused. Am I hot or are you hot? And the doctor gets all flustered and he goes like, you know what? Flustered looks really good on you. Okay, yeah, so then the dude's like, well, I'm gonna scan you because we have to do paperwork now because of our new leader. And he scans him and goes like, yep, 100% shapeshifter, as you just see Shooty Gatwa's head here. And he's like, well, I'm just gonna send you to the incinerator now here in like just a few vexels. And he's like, how long? Doctor's like, how long is a vexel? And it's seconds. And I'm just like, shouldn't you know what a vexel is, Doctor? You've been all over the galaxy. You know all this stuff. Shouldn't you know what a vexel is, especially since you're a Time Lord? Well, apparently not. So, okay, as time starts going on, Doctor starts freaking out and goes like, with just like 5 vexels left, I want you to trust me in what I'm about to do, as he throws the psychic paper and just happens to hit the perfect button on the control panel to scan him again. And this is contrivance because he just happens to hit it. And then in order for the scene to work, you have to then believe that Rogue didn't do like a deeper scan into him. he just scanned him, goes like, okay, yeah, you're a shapeshifter. No, this is stupid. So Rogue's a dum-dum. Shooty's just freaking lucky. And then we see all the past iterations of the Doctor. And I'm not just talking like one iteration. I'm saying all of them. You see, here's Dr. Here's Dr. Pathetic. Here's Dr. Karen. Here's the first Doctor and the true first Doctor played by William Hartnell. And you just see the list go on and on. They even include Black Doctor. Like the first Black Doctor in this entire lineup. She gets thrown in here. I'm trying to get a picture of her because she does show up in this like roundabout way. She just appears out of nowhere for a moment. You can kind of see her right here. You see her right after Matt Smith. And you're like, I'm something much older and everything. And the Rogue's just like, wow. Because now he's bewildered. Now he's turned on. He's like, oh my God. Oh my God. I want this guy to just take me to Pound Town. Because that's all they want to do. All Doctor wants to do is get taken to Pound Town. Rogue throws away his almost basically just goes like, oh, I want to be taken to Pound Town. Let's go to Pound Town. Pound Town! We then cut back to Ruby and Emily, and they're talking, gossiping more, and Ruby's asked her, hey, so what do you want to do with your life? And Emily's all like, well, I want to marry somebody small and do something simple and, you know, just eat. And Ruby's all like, no, you can't do that. You have to be adventurous and go do all this stuff. And she's like, oh, you're so interesting. Yeah, a line that didn't even need to be said, but okay. We then get Doctor and Rogue walking over to the shed, and Doctor's like, Rogue's all like, what is this really your ship? And the Doctor's like, just walk inside. Dude walks in, just freaks out, and then you have the Doctor go sing, come with me, and you'll see a world of pure imagination. As he does a massive pose that tells me just how gay he is getting. And Rogue starts running around going like, this is amazing and awesome. The Doctor goes over to the control board, hooks up the thing that he was just trapped in, and Rogue's all like, this is I love it so much. This is so cool. And he goes like, this comes from the long lost stake of Gallifrey. Where's that? And the Doctor's like, I could take you there sometime. I thought Gallifrey was dead. I thought it was destroyed. I thought it was no longer a thing, but apparently it still is. Doctor then tweaks the trap to not kill the Chota, but to teleport the Chota to another dimension. And the reason behind that is because he can't let Rogue kill the Chota. I could understand that, but he can't let the Chota kill any more people. So he's got to teleport him to a different dimension in which they're not going to be around people, in which they might die. So the Doctor's still gonna kill him if you actually start thinking about it, but okay. So everything's good. Then the Doctor walks over because like, so who was he? And he starts basically saying that Rogue was never always alone, and he's like, oh, the person was important to me. And they start sitting there and talking about the feelings, go like, I lost them. I'm so sad. And the Doctor's like, I lost everybody too. And the dude's like, well, I saw you there with that blonde chick. And he's like, that's my best friend. As they're flirting and getting all close together. And it's just going on and on as the Doctor's like, I could show you all sorts of the world. And he's like, you should come with me. And the dude's like, well, no, you should come with me. We could have fun. Because they both want to get taken to Pound Town, as they then lean into each other and just about kiss when it gets revealed that they have to go, you know, trap's done and they have to go do stuff. So that's what they do. We then cut to the Doctor and Ruby and Emily all interacting together, in which the Doctor fills all them in on what's going on, including Emily, and Emily is just there. So he's like, they're Chota, okay? We have to take care of them. They're important. We have a whole plan. We got to do this. And then it gets, Doctor figures out what they're doing. The Chota are reenacting Bridgerton because terrestrial television beams into space and they're fans of Bridgerton. And it turns out the Chota are cosplayers. They're interested in this era because of the drama and the intrigue and the salacious nature. And they're like, that's exactly how we're going to draw them out. And there's only one good way to draw them out. Rogue, come with me. And Rogue's all like, I don't know how this is gonna draw them out. What's going on here is like, you obviously didn't do your research into this era, because this is gonna be the most salacious thing yet. And I'm just sitting here like, no, if we're gonna be talking about research into the era, this picture right here, I know in Bridgerton they have it. I know in old episodes of Doctor Who they have it. But we have a Lord of a Minority here. If we're really going to be talking about what's scandalous, why don't we just start pointing out that there's, black people, white people dancing together? If we really want to talk about what's scandalous in this timeline, it's not, if the two men are dancing together are certainly scandalous. What's more scandalous still at this time is two people of a different race dancing together. Heck, a minority lord is scandalous. Okay, so they start dancing and everybody's like, oh my God, this is weird. And we have like deep, intense looking into these moments. And then the doctor's like, okay, it's time to get even salacious. And he then yells at him and goes like, you wish me to revoke my fortune and everything, but for what? What future do you give me? As they're trying to, cosplay. And he starts telling the Rogue, just say something, say something, anything. And he's like, I, as Rogue then gets down on one knee and proposes to the doctor. And the doctor, no longer cosplaying, picks up the ring, looks at it, freaks out, and runs out the room, as then Rogue runs out after him. And we then watch as the two Chota that we know of go like, I want to be him next, as they then rush out there. We watch Emily and Ruby run to the window and realize, oh, there's two Chota, not just one. Because everybody doesn't know that there's two right now, so there's at least props. So we then cut outside to where the doctor and Rogue are talking. Go like, this should have been salacious enough. It should have worked. We're gonna have the Chota here and we'll transport it away. And then the doctor goes like, it was just a Chota, right? And he's like, yes, it was just a Chota. And then he's like, there's more than one, as they reveal that there's a lot of Chota. Fat lady Chota, black minority Chota, and then the Lord Chota. There's 4 Chotas, because it's not just one, it's a Chota family. A family of weird bird creatures that shoot electricity and transform. Okay. I guess. I don't know. Guys, I don't know anymore, but okay. So then they're like, get up, I want to be the doctor, as they start rushing after them, saying, how we want to be them, breaking spines, doing all this, we want to cosplay you. They're doing this all because they're cosplayers. So then the doctor, they start hunting amongst carriages, start looking around, they do stuff, and they're like, we can't find them. And they're like, well, we must go on. We should advance to the wedding because we're going to have fun and do all sorts of stuff. And this should get them out. And the doctor's looking there as they're now up on the ceiling, go like, we need a bigger trap. And we end up coming to the Chota, in which they tell us what their plan is. Their plan is to finish cosplaying this place, finish the Bridgerton, kill everybody, and then move on to more fun as we become members of parliament and then become the king and royalty, as then we begin wars and will cosplay this planet to death. They just want to play pretend the entire time. They're just like actors in Hollywood. They're just like failed people. What the heck is going on? They want to cosplay constantly. And that's what they're doing. So we count back to the Doctor and Rogue. Doctor is editing the trap. Go like, we'll have it fit 4. Wait, no, we'll do 6 just in case there's more. And that's their plan. And they're like, this is a one-time use thing and we have to make it right. Okay? So we then cut to Ruby engaging with Emily. And Ruby's like, you know what? You've seen enough. I'll just tell you everything. I'm from the future and it's awesome. And Emily's like, oh my God, Ruby, you're so amazing. You're so wonderful. You're such an amazing person. And then it's revealed that Emily's been a Chota this entire time. Because now she wants to be Ruby. And we do the whole like electric shock, as we're scared that Ruby might have been gotten. And let's be fair, we all know Ruby didn't get got. We cut back to the party. Doctor's up on the balcony watching everything. Doors get flung open, and the Shota are there, revealing their true form to everybody as they're like, "We're here for the party! We've been here the whole time, and you know what? What's a party without a few dress changes? Yay! And we're gonna finish this out. We'll finish this season up with a wedding!" As we see Bad Lord Doctor Creature Thing coming in with Ruby. And in this moment, the Doctor goes like, "No! They did it! They caught Ruby!" As he gets up and walks away and ugly cries. Like full-fledged ugly crying as he remembers a discussion he had with Ruby's mom, in which she's like, she deserves the world, but she needs to be protected. Can you protect her? And the Doctor's all like, yes, I will. And we watch as he full-face ugly cries. Ncuti Gat was overacting in his crying now. Before it was just, tears running down his eyes. He's brooding. No. He's done through all the emotions of crying, and now he's ugly crying. And this isn't the only time he full-fledged ugly cries. We then get back to the Chota bird creature things, and they're like, we need a priest to officiate the wedding. As then they find the priest, he comes up and goes like, "I will not sanction this unholy wedlock marriage between you monsters from hell." And then they're like, okay, well, we'll just become you. As I guess the powers changed all of a sudden. Because I was pretty sure when the Chota pick somebody up and do their little zappy thing, they become the person. But no, now it's just clothes. Because the dude did it to the priest, and he's now just wearing the clothes. So, what's the powers? Is the clothes powers? Are you mimicking them? Do you need to do that at all to become them? I don't know anymore. Well, he's wearing the clothes now. Okay. And he's going to be officiating the wedding. We then cut back to the Doctor, and he asks Rogue, like, how long do Chota live for? And he's like, they live for 600 years. And he's like, that's not long enough, but it'll do. As he then goes out there and does his thing. We cut to the wedding starting, word stuff. And then the Doctor interrupts, go like, I object. Wait, I know I'm too soon, but it's hard to hear out there. And he just starts chit-chatting like, I am here, baby, for the wedding, and I'm not human. And they can now smell that he's not human. And I'm just like, wait, couldn't you guys smell that he wasn't human at the beginning? You guys thought he was human, but now you can't smell that he's human? I don't know. The rules don't make sense. So they're now taking it in that he's not human, and he's, revealing the trap. He's revealing his plan, the final plan, the ultimate plan. And they're like, oh, you just have one part of the tool. Okay, you have just one piece of the trap. And he's like, oh, you're right. But look over there, as he points to the other two pieces that are already beside him. And I'm like, wait, how did those get there? How did you get the other two pieces right there already? How? You would have to have already known that this was going on. You would have to known where they would go. You would have to know what area they were going to be in, how they were going to be positioned. How did you do this? I get that Rogue said that he set it up, but you need to know where they are for this. You can't just assume they're going to be there, and you need to place that final piece. So how was this going to work out at all? I have no idea. But okay, so they locks in. Ruby starts freaking out, and he's like, okay, so there's 5 of you, so that means you're heavy, so that's going to be about 80 vexels until it's done. And Ruby's like, Doctor, how long is a vexel? And he's like, don't pretend. And Ruby's like, I'm not pretending, Doctor, it's me. And then she starts revealing that it truly is Ruby, and the Doctor's like, no, I've trapped the real Ruby in there. And he's like, how did you survive? She goes like, combat mode, because she had the sidekick earrings on, and she presses it. And they start fighting. She starts being good at combat. Oh, I need to mention this. I forgot this. At least 2 times this happened. Back on the balcony scene with the Doctor and Rogue. And here, they start doing orchestral versions of modern day songs. They do an orchestral version of Bad Guy by Billie Eilish. And then Lady Gaga's Poker Face. I'm pretty sure they did at least 2 more orchestral versions of modern day songs, but it breaks you out of everything that's going on here because it might be orchestral, but it doesn't fit the timing. The orchestra would not know these songs. So even if you're having orchestral versions, it doesn't fit. It ruins the immersion. It ruins the escape. It's stupid. Don't do it. I know there's going to be somebody saying, well, in the first season with RTD, they did Poison at one point. That was in the future, and they specifically said that's classics. Back here, this is in the past. Those are modern day musics. They wouldn't know it. Checkmate. So, okay, Ruby wins. Emily shows up, goes like, this is what she did to my nose. And you see the beak, and it's just hideous, as you can tell that this is bad, bad makeup. Oh, it's so bad. Doctor starts freaking out. He's like, no, I did this. And Mama Chota goes like, I give you permission to become the doctor. As then Emily starts running towards him. And then the rogue throws bad Emily Chota onto the thing. And they don't know what to do. So then all loaded up. Everything's good. And, you know, the rogue's like, you got to press the button. And Doctor's like, I can't do it. And he's like, you have to do this, okay? You gotta press this button. If you don't, the Chota will be released. They'll kill everybody and destroy the world. You gotta do it. You have to sacrifice her. And like the pressure's coming down on Shurigatwa as he ugly cries again. Full-fledged ugly cry. This is like hideous crying right now. It is so disturbing to see this. And he's crying and Rogue's like, can you press the button? He's like, I can't press the button. I can't do it. And he's like, I know. And then in the moment, the scene happens. They've been building up to it. They've been establishing it as they fully canonize the Dr. Gay. Yay, kiss. What the frick? I mean, come on. They hinted at it last episode. They hinted at it multiple times. Doctor's full-fledged gay. He's making out because he wants to get taken to Pound Town. So yay, extravagant, whatever. Who the frick cares? This is modern day. This isn't the Doctor. This is Bridgerton. And it's stupid what's happening here. And in this moment, he takes, they're kissing. Dude, like, pulls away a little bit. You literally have Ruby go like, because you're supposed to realize that this is an important moment. This is an amazing moment. I'm just like, I called it. If you saw it from a mile freaking way, it's stupid. And after the kiss is done, dude takes the trigger, jumps onto the thing, pushes Ruby off, takes her place. He's now holding the flowers. He throws them, presses the button, and he looks at the Doctor and says, find me. As he then gets transported away, Doctor cries again, and episode's basically over because they don't know what to do. Now, in this moment, I'm confused. I'm confused how this trap works, because this trap works as you get put into it, you then get frozen there, unable to move, nothing can remove you, you're deadlocked in, you're stopped. But somebody can take your place? So, how does that work? You're locked in there. There's no way to escape unless the trap removes or unless somebody takes your place. So, what? This is all just stupid. Okay. We then have final moment where the Doctor's now sitting out on the on the steps. Ruby comes to see him and goes like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. Can we find him? No. There's like all sorts of dimensions out there. We'll never find him. And I never knew his real name. And Ruby's trying to comfort him. He's like, well, let's just go on and do an adventure. Come on, we gotta do this. And she's like, no, it's okay to stop. And he's like, no, we gotta go on. We gotta go on. What the Doctor would actually do, after having a tragic moment, he would say, right, let's go. He does not like to dwell on the sad parts. He likes to continuing on because that's his whole point of existing, is continuing on for the ones he's lost. But why ever think about that? So, and that then the Ruby grabs him, holds him, and he's like, this is funny, and then starts, being comforted because now he's sad because he realizes the person he loves is gone. And then Ruby's like walking away. He's like, I'll catch up, and he takes out the ring that was given to him by Rogue and puts it on his ring as he's like, I love him. and then just moves on as the episode ends. And I wanted to just start drinking a lot after this entire episode because it was boring. Yeah, there's aspects of it that is more akin to Doctor Who, but when you start breaking it down, it's stupid. The Chota are dumb. They're just leaving the bodies around for anybody to find. Not even the doctor. Like, anybody could have found the bodies. So you're not even being clever. The Chota are only doing this because they're wanting to cosplay Bridgerton. And this whole episode is just Bridgerton. You get gay doctor. Guess what? We had gay doctor last season, so you're not treading new ground. It's just more gay doctor. You're not doing anything new. You're not doing anything original. And all this was like a love letter to Bridgerton because Bridgerton's hot stuff. And it's only hot for people that like Bridgerton stuff. I don't like Bridgerton, so I was not interested in this episode in the slightest. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was dumb. Oh, look, we have Rogue. He's named Rogue because of Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, look, Rogue's kind of stupid because he didn't even use the whole, scanning thing. And then the doctor just throws psychic paper for the first time and just happens to hit the button and it works right. Oh, what's over here? This whole entire time, Emily gets revealed to be a Chota, and Ruby saves herself by using combat mode and battling to freaking Lady Gaga. None of this was fun. This was just boring and predictable. Every second of it was predictable. It was boring, and this whole oh my god, it's so salacious what they're doing. They kissed at the end of freaking Dr. Karen's run. They freaking Dr. Karen, not Leslie Headland, that's something else. Dr. Karen, whatever her frick name was, and Yasmin kiss at the end of that season. At the end of that episode, they were already gay for each other. So, okay, we have gay kiss. Big whoop. Oh my god, the doctor's gay. He was gay last season when he was a girl. So what? There's nothing groundbreaking here. You're just reusing things and you're making Bridgerton not Doctor Who. And I shouldn't be shocked because nobody knows how to write Doctor Who. They only know how to write progressive bullcrap nowadays. Heck, even the salacious part. You have white people and black people dancing together in 1813 London. Do you really think people are gonna care that two guys are dancing together? But let's really sit down and think about this here for a moment. The salacious part is already going on. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It was stupid. It was boring. Nothing was intriguing. And every second of it, I was just like, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. I was waiting for it to be over. And I started looking at the time. I was like, oh my god, only 10 minutes have passed. But what can you be surprised? RTD has nothing new to do. RTD is not creative. RTD can't do anything new. He can't write anything clever. He has to take from other things, take from himself, and do it just poorly. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video go live, guys. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.